only crime was being happy. That's all I did. I hate you.
Holy shit, Danny.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mark It Down podcast, where the news is so crazy we're going live on a Saturday. I'm James Gisanti, joined by Matt Cascone, and man, the road to WrestleMania only started last Saturday, and we've already hit a giant pothole, or a giant bump in the road in the shape of a rock that goes by the name of Dwayne Johnson. Matt, we are going to cover a little bit of what happened on SmackDown last night to close the show of SmackDown, and we're going to talk about going further into WrestleMania season, what this could mean. And before we get into the details, I just got to tell you, I'm tired. I'm stressed, and more than anything, I'm conflicted. What about you?
Same boat, man. I feel like I got on the wrong bus in Bikini Bottom and somehow I'm in rock bottom. And it's like, how did things change so much in a week? I mean, I don't know, the dominoes fell, like the House of Cards is, I'm trying to stay optimistic. We don't have anything concrete yet, but what they're teasing, I think
it's fair to say that somehow CM Punk managed to ruin two professional wrestling companies in less than 12 months. It's honestly, not even Kevin Nash and Scott Hall were able to do it that quickly.
Whether it's his fault or not, yeah, he does seem somewhat responsible in some way, shape, or form.
I mean, I think all the evidence is there, and if you don't agree, you're an apologist, a CM Punk apologist. I'm kidding. But man, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Last Saturday, Cody Rhodes came one step closer to finishing the story. Kevin, don't blame this on Punk. Really, Punk is just another victim here. Really, this is kind of Jack Perry's fault if you think about it. Or if we want to go even deeper, it's Matt's boy, Christian's fault.
What did Christian do?
Christian turned on Jack Perry. Turned Jack Perry heel and put him in a position to do the real glass thing. Got Punk out of the company. All this was done so Christian can send a dad rib to Cody across companies.
We got to go further back than that, because the only reason Christian turned on Jungle Boy is because he lost the tag titles to the Young Bucks, who weren't even supposed to win the titles. It's supposed to be the Hardy Boys. So it's Jeff's fault. It's
in a crazy
decisions.
In a crazy way, this goes even further. Back to being Punk's fault, because if he never left WWE, there wouldn't be so much distaste for the company that there would be a need for a second company in AEW. So, and even further than that, it's The Rock's fault for taking his WrestleMania main event at WrestleMania 29.
Don't worry, Daniel. We have plenty of more jokes to steal. I've got plenty. Oh my God. The memes today have been amazing. Like, even in the dark times, we can always make memes and get a good laugh out of it.
Danny has been killing it in the meme department for us at the Mark It Down podcast socials. Go check those out. Go check them on Insta, Twitter, wherever you get your memes. Go check them out for Mark It Down.
They don't expect us to swallow this tripe, and then it's just like everybody's tripe. I'm going to the Rock University. You know better as meme forms if you don't know Simpsons references off the top of your head. So I can make.
Hold on 1 second. Just gonna ban a user and delete their comment.
Already, I missed it.
Yeah. But all right, let's get into the nitty gritty of it, everybody. Last Saturday, Cody Rhodes wins the Royal Rumble, gets one step closer to finishing the story that he was unable to finish at last year's WrestleMania against Roman Reigns in the main event of WrestleMania. This year, we thought he spoke on Monday against Seth, saying he wasn't going to challenge Seth for the title.
He pointed at Roman at the Rumble. He's like, "Your ass is mine."
He made it clear what he was coming for. And then last night on SmackDown, in the main event segment, Roman Reigns, the bloodline in the ring. Cody Rhodes facing him down and saying he is not going after Roman Reigns. That he's spoken to a lot of people about this decision, and he has spoken to a lot of people about what to do next. And one of those people, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who came out to confront Roman Reigns, his sort of cousin, his sort of, I don't know, bloodline friend. They're not blood. There's no blood in that
friends.
They're family. Fast and
They're
Furious.
co-stars. They were in a movie together.
That was being very generous. How do we get rid of that comment? That's kind of the funny thing. Not even that I want to, but anyway.
If you got to keep looking at the comments, I can.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
They exchange no words, just simply stare each other down. The man Roman has been alluding to for years, the man that everybody at one time was very excited to take on Roman. It finally happened. And now the internet is hella split, guys. Nobody knows what's actually going to happen at WrestleMania. Nobody knows if we're really going to get Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania, but it certainly seems that way. It certainly seems like we're heading towards a Samoan main event, and Cody Rhodes is nowhere to be seen.
He's the Saturday boy. Saturday nights are for Cody Rhodes.
Apparently. At least this proves that Cody is more CM Punk than CM Punk. I mean, I guess they're on the same level. At least Cody did it once. But I'll be honest. I'm not entirely sure how we got here. There are a lot of rumors going around that The Rock's new position as a board on the board of directors for TKO has helped get him to this spot. That he has used a lot of his clout, used a lot of his backstage power, his newfound backstage power, to push for this position.
And get his daughter on TV.
I mean, his daughter was already on TV, but now she's on TV more. There are rumors that if CM Punk didn't get hurt, these plans wouldn't have been pushed. But given the nature of no Punk and no Brock Lesnar, because of other things we've discussed here at the pod, The Rock felt that WrestleMania needed some star power, and he is that star. In his mind, we have a tweet. "We want Cody Rhodes" is the #1 trend on Twitter. I think someone messed up on Friday night. Guys, if you go to YouTube right now, chances are you're probably watching us there already. You'll see that the most disliked video in WWE's entire library is now that interaction from last night on SmackDown. An outpouring of distaste for this choice, an outpouring of disappointment as we move forward. Not what you want on your road to WrestleMania. Not what you want at the hottest act in the 40th anniversary of your hottest act.
Yeah, not at all. Like, this is, I know maybe I'm giving them too much credit, but maybe that's why they didn't actually say anything. Like, they just had a face off. Maybe they're like, let's just see how this reaction is. And before we solidify what we're doing here, test the waters. Maybe
it's very possible. We don't know. Hunter in the comments. So Cody is out. Is this true? We don't know yet. Look, that's the one good thing about this. We still have a lot of time to get to Mania. Bryan Danielson didn't get into the main event of WrestleMania 30 until basically the night of WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
So give it time. Right now, the story seems that Cody is choosing to go after Seth. Who knows? Maybe he'll even choose to go down to NXT at the rate he's going.
I mean, that's always an option. They've always teased that, but only Charlotte is the only person to ever do that. So.
Yeah, Charlotte is the only person to ever do it, and what a waste that was. But we don't know. But right now, the story as it seems in front of us is Cody is not going after Roman, and The Rock is going to be going after Roman. This is, by all accounts, a mega match, the type of match that you dream of. The star of yesterday taking on the star of today. There's a personal connection. It's high stakes. It's a main event match. But the problem is the timing is terrible. Let me just put it out there. Nobody is upset at seeing The Rock. It's not like the idea of The Rock being back in WWE is what's upsetting people. Hold on, let's see. Now go back up to Baldy and Big Nose and tell them you're taking that main event back or else. Yeah. Cody, seriously, pal, what are you doing?
He looks like a child. You know, like, have you ever, maybe not you personally, but of like tricking a child into, changing their mind? Like, oh, you don't want this like ice cream sundae. You want this single scoop of raisins or something like that. Like, that's what it feels like. And just Cody looks like a big dumb loser. And it's like, this guy's got the best win-loss ratio record, like as far as volume is concerned, out of anybody. And like, he still looks like a big effing loser. Like, how do you do this?
They are overcomplicating one of the simplest goals, which is get your good guy to beat the bad guy.
You should have him last year.
Now again, let me just say it. Nobody is upset at the thought of The Rock being back in WWE inherently.
Right.
It's not one of everybody loves The Rock. Everybody loves The Rock.
I dressed up as him for Halloween.
The Rock himself, great. The problem is nobody wants to see The Rock come in and take the spot of somebody who's been busting his ass for years to get to this exact position. More people care about seeing Cody finish the story than seeing The Rock come in and be The Rock. It's just terrible timing. And to your point, all of this could have been avoided if last year Cody beat Roman in the main event of WrestleMania and took the title. If that was the case and there is no title involved and Cody already derailed the title reign and the story was finished, guess what? I would happily pay to see Roman versus The Rock right now.
It's a dream match, but let's be honest, there's a good chance it could suck. I mean, like, what, The Rock's last matches were a decade ago, and were they a lot to ride home about? Me personally, I think his matches were kind of stinky from a decade ago for the most part.
I mean, I thought his first match with Cena was all right. I thought it was good. I thought the first match was good. It did everything it needed to do. The second match, I can't blame him because he literally tore his entire pelvis off the bone.
That's true.
And then, I mean,
it's a good, well put together match. Like, Corey, it's just like.
And I thought the match with Punk was good. I thought the matches with Punk were good too. Granted, you might not be happy that Punk lost. That's entirely fair. But to say that the matches weren't good isn't true. In the comments, we have Christian in Puerto Rico. Dude watching from Puerto Rico. Thank you for watching.
I hope you guys get another pay-per-view soon. You guys were great at Backlash.
We are international here at the Mark It Down podcast, and we appreciate you no matter where you are on the globe. Eric in the comments saying his theory is that this was planned and we're still getting Cody versus Roman. The best stories are the ones where the fans force the company to go the route that they prefer. While that's true, while that is absolutely true, it's only true when it's organic. This would be the most manufactured way of creating something that wasn't even necessary. We were already all for Cody doing this. Nobody was against this. Nobody was thinking, damn, Cody's going to beat Roman. We all want it to happen. We wanted it to happen last year, and now we only have
to wait a whole year. They're like, why don't you just wait a year and not have a payoff? Like, that's the thing that's ridiculous. I was shocked that fans stuck with Cody after Mania. Like,
I agree. It
was amazing that they pulled that off, that people were still as happy to see him as they were before.
I never thought that people were going to turn on Cody. I just didn't think the support would be there as strong.
Yeah, exactly.
But the support has never wavered. The man has been carrying everything he's been doing like a true champion and a true fan favorite. It's crazy that they'd be doing this to manufacture more support for a story that didn't need it. Eric saying it's manufactured, but it's believable that the company would choose Rock over Cody, so they would never know that it was manufactured. I'm not saying that, But what I'm saying is you're creating drama in a story that didn't need it. There was already everything there to make this compelling. Cody failed.
Works. Unnecessary.
Yes.
Fly in the ointment. Even if it's a good thing, it's just like you're overcomplicating it. And it's like, just come on, like stick to the road. We don't need to go off this beaten path and try something crazy. Like, I don't know, man. It's just, it's exhausting.
Hunter, no, we didn't see your second question. So if you want to retype that in, my bad. But yeah, WWE 2K24 new promotion is Cody's not finished the story. I mean, maybe that's what they're going for, but I would never put the sale of a video game ahead of my biggest event of the year. I would never put it above creating a compelling TV product. People are going to buy the game no matter what. Either they are or they aren't. There's nothing about what the WWE product is that's going to change whether or not people buy the video game. We got a tweet. The Rock literally disappeared off WWE for years, and he comes back to take away the opportunity that we have all been waiting for and that Cody has been waiting for. I'm just genuinely so livid. # we want Cody. Yeah, I get it. But going back to Kevin's comments, if it ends up being a three-way, that's just stupid and unnecessary. No. I will say this. I agree. I do not want a three-way. Quite frankly, I didn't want a three-way with Punk and Cena the last time. But
I did, but that's just me.
Fuck Punk. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's all right. No, continue on your side. I didn't mean to derail you. Keep going.
Fragile Phil. # that, baby. I, in my heart, think that the only way we could truly get out of this, I think the only way everybody, because you know what, as divisive as this is, there are people who are very excited that The Rock is going to be there. They're a different contingent. They're a different contingent of the WWE Universe. It tends to be the older crowd that's a little more excited at this. It tends to be even some of the younger crowd. But there are people who are excited at The Rock being at WrestleMania.
Not everyone has to like Cody. It's okay.
Exactly. But my heart, what I want to see, oh God, he's going to get mad at me. My heart, what I want to see, you'll see in a second. Night 1 of WrestleMania, I would like to see Cody versus Seth versus Seth for the World Heavyweight title, and Rock versus Roman for the WWE Universal Undisputed title. And then on the second night, we get Roman versus Cody. Winner of both matches going on to the main event of the second night. And that's what I would like.
Unify the titles like Jericho did, kind of like that.
I would.
That's
I would do it.
Fucking garbage.
Yeah, well, nobody asked you. So my point is, I think
I would go with, but I like it.
Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan did that, and they did it successfully. So I think if they could do it successfully, I think WWE has all the star power and has all the attention to this story that it will be the most captivating thing that they can do.
Is that when Evil won the titles?
No. This was when Kota Ibushi did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I remember
Evil and now
titles was just random and like it was like who cares about Evil? Anyway, my
I got to bring him back in.
Sure.
Can we play nice?
What? Can we play nice about what?
You came in hot. I got defensive. I'm sorry about it. I love you. I think we need a virtual hug it out.
Oh wow! So James is gone now too. So you want to chime in or?
Sure. I would like to say a few things. I have no coherent, thought out statements to make, which is why I wasn't going to show up here. But now I am. This sucks. That's my first thought initially. This kind of ruined my night. I don't know.
Yesterday?
Yeah, sure. Yesterday, tonight, WrestleMania night 2. It ruined a lot of my nights. But I'm sorry, I actually jumped in. What were you guys in the middle of saying when I got in here?
We were talking about how New Japan did it. We were done with that. James had said what he wants to happen.
I was essentially saying I would like what I told you in our chat. I think the only way they could salvage this and make everyone happy, because there are people you don't agree with them. I'm not saying you should agree with them, but there are people that are excited that The Rock is going to be at WrestleMania. I think the only way to make them happy and make everybody happy is to do what I want and have night one be Rock versus Roman and Cody versus Seth, and then night two be Cody versus Roman. That way Seth gets his WrestleMania main event. That way people get Rock versus Roman.
Wait, you think Seth and Cody would go on last before?
On night one? Yeah, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
Seth's
that's
gonna get a
true,
main
too.
event.
Seth
Yeah,
in that scenario, no way Seth's main eventing in night one or
Yeah.
night two.
Right, yeah, Seth isn't gonna main event. He might
Poor
not main
Seth.
event regardless. Like,
poor Seth. Fragile Phil really screwed him up.
But his leg's no good either. It's like I would honestly.
No, he would get it together for the main event. He would work through for the main event. 100%. If I could watch Cody Rhodes with his dangling arm wrestle Seth Rollins in a Hell in a Cell, I could 100% believe after 3 months of rest and rehab, Seth could put together a serviceable match for WrestleMania.
you know who could deal with some rest and rehab? Jeff Hardy.
Is he in trouble again, or just
It's low hanging fruit.
Yeah, I mentioned him earlier, but it made sense in the context of what we were talking about.
He said rehab. That makes sense. Perfect contextual sense.
Well, we're gonna find out. I'm sure that they're going to do this press conference in a couple days in Vegas. I'm sure that's when we'll get.
They're doing it on Thursday.
That's weird.
So we'll still have Raw first, which it's weird that we're gonna have to have a show. And it's gonna be interesting to see how they deal with it. I feel like Seth is gonna have to be the fucking scapegoat again. Like, he had to go out there and cut that promo. Which, by the way, you guys haven't talked about this yet, but I feel like how worthless are both these titles right now? Bro, you had your two top guys just come out and bury both titles like on different nights, and it's like, now you want us to care? Like, it makes no sense. You proved Seth right, which Seth said that title is a politicking title for Hollywood, and then Roman buries the world heavyweight title. So like, what? Well, these titles suck, right? Like, what is there? Who wants to see anyone win these things now? What's the fucking point?
Yeah, that's a good point. I wanted to see Rock and Roman go night one for the title, have Roman beat Rock, and then Roman has to face Cody on night two. This is the scenario that a lot of people wanted last year, and I think it makes sense. I also think it's great because Roman can complain about having to, have two defenses in such a small amount of time, and the GMs, especially Aldis, can be like, bro, you defended the title like 6 times this year, so yeah, you can do 2 nights. Like, go F yourself.
I say what I like and don't like about that? What I like about that is the comeuppance of Reigns never wrestling, having to wrestle multiple times. What I don't like about it is Roman wrestling both nights takes away from facing Cody night 2. No matter how you get there,
I agree.
If he wrestles night 1, that takes away so much, because then all this needed was for one person, in this case Cody Rhodes, just beat Roman clean. End of story. Overcome the adversity, a word that's one of the many words that wrestling will ruin for you, in modern times, and beat Roman clean. That's a big deal. That's a megastar making moment, and that's it. Any other way we get there now is just everything's going to slowly chip away at that little by little and take away a little bit more from that little by little until it's crazy how they've made it. They've made it to a point where I just don't care anymore. Like, what's going to happen now, and that's what we're leading towards.
We were just talking about it before you got here too, that it's impressive that Cody was able to keep the support going an entire year after last year's Mania. That we all kind of thought, people would still like Cody. It's not like fans are going to turn on Cody, but the support's not going to be as strong. But he managed to do that. I thought we were going to
get rubber chickens like for the last year. Like, after that Mania moment, I thought people were going to break, like, it was like maybe one night after.
Oh, the rubber chicken got thrown into the ring.
Yeah. Like that was like a hot thing for like a week, and then he feuded with Brock, and everybody forgot about it, and everyone loved Cody again. It was truly impressive.
Now, I want to address this tweet. The quote: "The Rock versus Roman Reigns is box office. It's going to draw money over Cody versus Roman." I mean, a little irrelevant because they already sold the majority of their tickets.
They still want people watching, subscribing.
They're going to, man. It's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. There has not been a Mania in recent years that has not been bigger than the one before it. They keep doing it. To their credit, they keep breaking their own record year after year. Box office, streaming views, everything. They're breaking their own record. They didn't need The Rock for this. They just didn't. And it's Danny said, it's an and it's as we said, it's an overcomplication of what should have been the simplest and most rewarding story they could have told.
And now, I would like to add, I'm sorry, finish your thought.
No, it's a separate thing. Please go ahead.
Okay, I was going to add, also, who fucking cares about how much money the billion-dollar corporation makes? Why do you care? Why do you think that's a good argument? Are you a fan or are you in fucking business class, bro?
I don't think they're defending it. I think they're saying that's the reason, though.
No, they are. Like that tweet that we pulled up, that's someone that's pro the match. And that's a go-to defense for the people who are in favor of this. And it's like, who cares? Is capitalism that deeply rooted in you that's what you're thinking about? If I watch a show, I don't give a fuck. As long as it's making enough money to stay on the air, I don't give a fuck about how much money they're making besides that. You think I care? Like, who gives a fuck? You know, if I could compare to music, you know, I like a lot of the bands I like are somewhat famous. They make a decent amount and they sell out reasonable, smaller size venues, the type of size venues that AEW should start touring in, by the way. Okay. And I don't want them to be in the Barclays Center. The Barclays Center sucks. I don't want to go there.
Terrible arena. Arena.
I want the bands I like to make enough money for that to be their career and to live comfortably. After that, I don't care. I'm not like, oh yes, they need to sell 100 million copies of an album and then make $500 million. I don't care. Who cares about the amount of money that this is gonna make? Like,
look at this shill. Look at this shill in the comments right here.
Yeah, exactly. So why are the fans saying this? Why do the fans care? You know, like it's such a silly thing. It's even dumber than when people bring up the ratings. You know, like it's.
Go ahead.
I think it's very short-sighted as well. I mean, sure, maybe you'll get more buzz and you'll get some of that mainstream, rub, and people like that. But at the same time, there's a very good chance this match is going to suck. Like, let's be honest.
Danny will agree with that. Danny agrees with that.
A good chance. 85% chance it's going to suck.
I would bet on it. I would bet on me not thinking it was a good match just because, like I said, I think most of Rock's matches from a decade ago were not good.
We already said you were wrong about that, Matt.
No, I did not agree with that. I did not agree with that.
Move past it.
I think
I would bet on it, but you're not going to get any money back on that investment because it's
not literally. But
no, it could because it's so obviously going to be a bad match that you're not going to make any profit from that.
The odds are on your side.
I would bet that Cody would have a much better match with Roman.
Oh, absolutely.
Than Rock would. So if a casual viewer is watching WrestleMania because they're watching The Rock and the matches just sucks and they're like, wow. So I guess this is why I don't watch wrestling. Like they're going to tune in for WrestleMania and then they're going to tune out. They're not coming back. If you have Roman and Cody have an awesome match, you might get some new fan base. Might get somebody who's like, oh man, I got to see what happens on Monday because that was really cool.
All right. This is what I will say. And this is, I want it on the record. I am objectively against Rock taking Cody's spot. Everybody's heard me say it. I am pro Cody in this situation. To say that the chances that they'll bring in more casual viewers off of Roman versus Cody as opposed to Roman versus Rock is probably so untrue.
But they'll come back. saying.
But I have no reason to believe that's true. I have no reason to believe. And again, I'm not even pro-Rock here. I have no reason to believe that a casual viewer who might be tuning into WrestleMania for the first time to watch WWE is going to say, man, these two unknown guys really pulled me in more than The Rock. And again, I don't want it to be The Rock, but we have to be fair in the argument that we're making here. The Rock is being chosen for two reasons. One, The Rock has backstage political power and was able to push himself into this spot. But the reason the board of directors were willing to go with it is because they understand the star power that he has. We might not like it because we've been watching on a weekly basis for the last how many years that we don't care if The Rock is there or not. We are there to see Cody finish. Kevin, you watch this podcast way too much.
I'm sorry. If you're watching a wrestling podcast live, you're not a casual fan. And
he's a casual WWE fan. He's a hardcore WWE fan.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's fair. That's fair. And Kevin, you know I love you. I have a lot of love for you here on the pod, but you've surpassed casual a long time ago. The tweet saying, OMG, all those kids Cody has given WrestleMania tickets to watch.
Oh,
I was joking that those parents might sell the tickets. That was before The Rock took Cody's spot. I was like thinking, I wonder how many of those parents are just like, bro,
oh my God.
WrestleMania trip with hotel, I could make mad bank off of that. Like, we're selling those tickets, honey.
No, the show they're going to now is technically more valuable. It's just not as good. It's just not as good. Oh.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Man, Triple H has just got to be. He's got to be Arthur fisting so hard every time he goes into work.
It's just funny because we think of, like, Rock is probably the most famous person on the planet, and he's very charismatic, very talented, has had an amazing wrestling career. But you look at also the amount of duds this man has had. Like, the amount of bad movies, like Black Adam, bad wrestling matches. Like, he's had as many.
I am going to heavily disagree on the bad wrestling match thing. Like, I genuinely, other than Cena Rock 2, he didn't have a bad match on the return.
Why do you think we never got Cena Rock 3?
The man did. You know what the man's last match was? The man's last match.
It was a banger against Eric Rowan.
Exactly.
That was his best match.
For the
you
win.
don't top that. And third, they didn't need to give Cena a second win. You don't have Rock go over again because Cena's still there, and they don't need Cena to beat Rock twice. Long.
You don't beat it. You don't complete a trilogy.
No, you gave the first win to The Rock because, truth be told, no, you shouldn't have had a second match. Period.
Yeah. That's where you can end the sentence there. We can just move on.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah,
you don't have one of them go over twice.
Fine.
Hojo, Rock literally ripped his dick off in that match.
He said it wasn't good.
Well, Cena has also said that he's like, there's a reason there wasn't a third match because the other two were not well received, essentially.
No, all right. I love
the first
Cena,
one was well received.
Yeah, like people enjoyed it, but I want to go to
because the right person won.
I want to go to this comment real quick. How is this supposed to stop CNN from running the Vince story in his Me Too era? I'll be honest. I don't necessarily think one thing has to do with the other. I don't.
It does in the sense that they definitely this part of this was to distract from the Vince stuff, and it worked because everyone's up in arms about this. It's all. And shamefully,
the wrestling world is. The wrestling world is. The real world does not give a shit.
But that's getting covered like on other outlets and stuff. So it is working to that extent. Whenever more comes out on the Vince stuff, that'll take over again. Whenever the next chapter of that story, comes to the public light. But until then, it has worked in that regard that we are more up in arms about that than the Vince stuff. So it is working in the short. Once again, all of this stuff are temporary solutions. You had to save WrestleMania because of Punk and Brock going down, one with an injury, one for, but it has and I don't know in what world throwing everything into a tornado is saving things as opposed to just creating more disasters. But it's a short-sighted solution, and it's for WrestleMania, and it's a short-sighted solution for distracting from the bad press. We could have just handled it better. Everyone else, in what world does Nia Jax handle a question about the Vince McMahon situation better than Triple H?
Triple H.
What is going on here? And
Cody too. I think he did pretty well with that question.
See, but that doesn't
Yeah.
shock me.
yeah,
Cody
that's
is
the
most,
least
like-
surprising thing in the world.
Yeah.
Cody's ready for anything except for maybe what he's going through right now. I don't know. I hope the man is okay.
This tweet saying he, being Cody, could have just turned heel, broke the stipulation, had a feud with Hangman Adam Page, win the AEW World Title, and everything would have been just fine. Yes.
Oh, imagine Cody Punk in AEW.
The solution was right there in front of us the whole time.
I mean, I heard you guys go over, the timeline of events and how this is all unfolded, and I do think we are more to blame than Cody in the AEW situation. If we didn't turn on Cody,
True.
chances are there's a better chance of him not leaving.
I think if we go back far enough, you will see I never turned on Cody.
I mean, I never turned on Cody either. I was very pro-dy, pro Cody. So I
like
do.
it.
Right. I do think it's us as the fans, not specifically us here at the Market Down podcast. But
to go off of that tweet that producer boy just showed with Solo, I'm now seeing people saying stuff like Cody's gonna wrestle Roman, cash in his Royal Rumble early at Elimination Chamber.
I hate that.
There's precedent for it. Cena did it in the past that he uses WrestleMania, but just why? Why are we here?
It's like you said, we were overcomplicating it. We're like, this is so simple. Like, this is, it's mind-boggling. I mean, I would hate for Roman to hold the title for another year.
I don't think he does. I don't think he holds it to 41 no matter what.
Do you think The Rock could beat Roman or no?
No,
I don't think so.
0%
My heart I say
chance.
no, but like anything's possible.
There is one reason in my mind that I could think there's any real way Rock actually does it. And that's now that he's with TKO, I think he's going to make WWE a little bit more of a priority for himself. Like his next movie, he's got 2 movies I think that he's doing this year. He's doing Moana and he's doing that A24 movie with the Safdie brothers. I think more or less he has a pretty open schedule. The Safdie brothers, they did like Uncut Gems and stuff.
Oh, cool. That was a good one.
I was done what was more of the A24. Like, what is that?
You ever see like Hereditary or Midsummer?
I've actually seen both of those movies.
They're a new movie production company, and they were
okay.
the only people that agreed to the actors' strike. Like, so when
they did all the requirements for the strike, but regardless,
they signed off.
Regardless,
gotcha. Sorry, I work in a different industry than you. Okay,
fashion industry.
Yeah, you work in film. That's fair. I don't,
We got this comment. What if Damian cashes in on Roman and it's Cody versus Priest at Mania? You have to put value back on the Rumble win. So this is what I'll tell you in terms of that. Terrible. Not you. I understand you're doing what we're all doing. We're looking for solutions to get out of this mess. But for Cody Rhodes to go against Roman Reigns or Seth Rollins to then potentially go against Damian Priest, I'd rather wrestle a non-title match at WrestleMania than wrestle Priest for the title at Mania.
Yeah.
Priest is not cashing in until after Mania.
I don't think it's cashing in at all.
I think the funniest thing that's going to come out of this is Rock beats Roman and then Priest cashes in on Rock. The best? No, terrible. Fucking terrible. The funniest? Absolutely.
Yeah. I would love to be drunk and laugh at that.
No, you know what needs to happen? Damian Priest needs to lose the briefcase to Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And then Drew McIntyre can cash in on literally anyone, and it'll be hilarious because all of a sudden he's the funniest man in wrestling in a week. In a 1 week, as bad as this week has been for everybody else in wrestling, it's been pretty good for Drew McIntyre specifically.
His tweets. Did you see? Like, we all saw the tweet with Punk
Tricep
where he was
day.
working out. But did you see the one with Cody after what happened?
Yeah.
He said this man. I've been saying it for years. If I had the money to start a wrestling promotion, Drew McIntyre would be the crown jewel of my company. And I'm so happy he's showing that off to people again. People forgot in these last 2 years. People forgot Drew's value. And man, is he reminding everybody. But to go back to the situation that brought us all here. I have NWA money. I don't have WWE money.
I do think it'd be a funny storyline if it was like Damian Priest isn't cashing in. They're like, "What's wrong with you?" He's like, "Shut up! I can cash in anytime I want." You know, like I don't have a problem. Like I'm not afraid. Like that would be funny instead of him just ignoring the fact that he has the briefcase.
All right, we're going to respond to this real quick. Our Lady of Guadalupe Botanical Garden Project comments. Come on, people. This is all a work. WWE just made Cody the biggest babyface of the current generation. Cody beats Seth at Mania, leaves the belt in the ring, shades of Dusty, Cody at SummerSlam.
I'm not waiting till SummerSlam.
Is that an official YouTube channel? Like, should you be commenting from that? Tell us about the Botanical Garden Project, honestly.
Yeah.
Look,
we would love to hear more.
Look, I love the optimism from the people who are trying, the Chris Van Vliets of the world, fucking nerd. But like, there's no world in which Cody beating Seth for a fourth time is good. Like, there's just no positive spin to put on it. It's not good.
And if Seth beats Cody, which he won't, but in a world where he's not hurt, you make Cody look like the biggest jabroni ever.
Yeah. He already looks like the biggest dweeb of all time. It's like he hands Rock his world title championship. Why doesn't he just hand Brandy over while he's at it? It's like it's just ridiculous. Like I'm talking fictionally, of course. You know.
Like, but The Rock's married. He doesn't sell it. No. Put that. We're putting that.
It's just I don't know why I did it on hand over the title shot. You might as well just hand over, you know, your balls and you know your livelihood, like all that kind of stuff, like fictionally, of course. Like it just he as a fictional character, Cody Rhodes, he looks like a dweeb, moron, cuck, loser, like all these things. So the fact that someone's saying, "Oh, he's the biggest baby face of all time," it's like no, he looks like someone you'd be ashamed of.
So I feel like you and Cody need to hug it out.
I love Cody. I've met the man, have nothing but nice things to say about Cody. Like, he should be on the top of the company. He should be main eventing WrestleMania. He should win the world title. He should have done it last year.
I strongly agree. But now I'm actually going to go off of that tweet that Producer Boy brought up of Cody holding the AEW title. Realistically, all right, let's check this out first. 2K are including a new feature in the day one patch for WWE 2K24, where you're about to finish My Rise. The Rock comes to your house, takes away the controller, and turns off the console. Yep. I mean, I would buy the game if he came to my house. I wouldn't.
Wait, can I say that another thing I don't like in the defending this decision camp is the let it play out crowd. We've been doing that for like over a year, bro.
That's the problem.
It's played out. It's beyond played out.
Not waiting till SummerSlam. No way.
Yeah, and that's also garbage. That's also garbage. That's like, you know, the first time I said something about this, I said, like the people who wanted Randy to like win the 4-way and then have Cody face Randy, Roman face Rock, and you know Seth face Punk. You know, if the Avengers beat anyone else but Thanos in Endgame, it wouldn't make any sense. That wouldn't be a satisfying conclusion to that story. And the same way, the same token of Cody winning the title anywhere else but WrestleMania, because people are like, why does that have to be a WrestleMania? It would be stupid if the Avengers beat Thanos in a Disney Plus Hulu like spin-off TV series instead of in the sequel to Infinity War. You know, if you're gonna have the hero lose to the big bad guy so that they can overcome in the sequel and win, you do that in the big sequel. You don't in the follow up. You don't do it. You know, you don't do it in WandaVision. You know, no offense to WandaVision, but yeah, it was. But like it's very simple. I don't think like the people who are using that as a defense are just like I just feel
Naive.
like they're not thinking it through. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I tend to try to see the play it out people a little bit of the way, but we've come too far at this point. We've come too far, and we know the players involved at this point that there is less reason to have faith right now.
And don't tell me to calm down. Don't get people. Don't tell people that they can't react. Like they can't have knee jerk reactions to things. Again, how do you consume media? Like, media is supposed to make you feel something.
Things.
You want to react to things. Do you watch movies and TVs just like, okay,
just happy that you have it? Like, yeah, I'm happy to have it, but I'm allowed to like and dislike.
A month later, you're driving in the car. That was funny.
It's just, what do you want? Like, I guess I compare everything to wrestling, but like, I'm one of the fucking sick individuals who watched all of The Walking Dead, and
you poor bastard.
that had a historic. I'll stand up for the first 6 seasons, or first 5 seasons really, but after that it took a steady decline, just like wrestling did after the Attitude Era. But that would be like if I'm watching the show and I guess spoiler alert, halfway through the series, they kill off Glenn. That would be just me being like, if people are freaking out, like, oh my God, they killed Glenn. And I would just be like, guys, let it play out. Like, what's with the knee-jerk reactions? Like, why such knee-jerk reactions? Why are you getting so mad and worked up? Like, bro, what are you even doing then? You're not even consuming the media or the art form. You're a wall that it's bouncing off of.
I think the play it out people that are saying to calm down, and I agree with you, by the way, I agree with you. I think they're speaking to the people whose knee-jerk reactions are, I'm never going to watch WWE again. Yeah. This is terrible. Yeah. This is awful. But those people are also lying too, because they're not going to stop. If you've been on the ride, if you've been on the train this long, you're a lifer. You're stuck. Sorry, guys, you just are. This is part of who you are.
On the internet, like us.
Exactly, as it's our God-given right.
Watching wrestling is like being on Lost, but
the ending doesn't make sense.
It's purgatory in a way. The end is fine. People who say that about Lost are
I couldn't even just get
lesser than. It's just the ride to the actual ending was very bumpy at the end.
So I watched it years later. I watched it.
Yeah, I watched it. I didn't watch it live, so I understand anyone who watched it live. I get it because you're waiting a week.
But that last season, I couldn't even really get through the last season, let alone.
But I thought the last episode was good and the ending was good. I just didn't like the last season. I agree was bad. But anyway, let's stay a little, I guess, on topic.
No, this is why people are here, man. People are here. People are here for the banter.
This is me checking to see if Kevin's still watching because he loves Lost, which I don't think he is because he would have definitely jumped in by now with some comments about the matter. But I don't want to. Like, people can be mad if they want, and that's fine. And by the way, like that's the best. If you're writing something, if you're writing a show, a movie. I just said that I don't work in this industry and like you do, but now I'm speaking of it so much like I do. But you want people to feel things. So they're probably to some degree are looking at this as a win. Like all press is good press, no such thing as bad press, which, as the company knows right now is not true. There's plenty of bad press to be had. But, it's fine that people are mad. That is like I don't disagree. It's fine if you like that you're going to get Rock versus Roman, but the way people try to combat the outrage are always such like bad faith takes or come from such a like weird place. Like I feel like you're better off just not weighing in than to make these things that you think are these grand points. Not the word profound over here, making all these important points over here. You know, we're just people feeling things, expressing things, talking about things. You know, we're all part of the conversation.
I got to address the fact that Eric hates Elite Rockers,
But we follow them on Twitter because of him.
And was the person who put it on our screen. We didn't need to promote this at all.
I do agree, though. I hate their fucking page. They have every tweet I've seen. I've only gone on Twitter like 5 times. It's been in the past 2 weeks. Are all garbage.
It was a fine idea to me, but like, I love the tagline at the bottom. Doesn't get any better than that. I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure Roman versus Cody is better than that. Like,
and we need to acknowledge something.
Sorry, Kevin.
Finishing the story for Cody does not mean as much if it's anyone but Roman.
Yes.
It's not because of anything. If Roman was holding the world heavyweight title and that was the more important title or whatever, Roman is the biggest bad guy character in professional wrestling, whether it's WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan, AAA, wherever it is, there is no character that the world wants to see finally get beaten more than Roman Reigns. So Cody, the good guy, the hero of the story, wants to finish it against Roman Reigns. Danny brought up the Thanos analogy. There was no bigger bad guy, and that's what Roman is. They position this, no matter what, you might have hated every second of the Roman Reigns title reign. You might have thought it was the worst thing WWE has done. No matter what, though, it's worth it if you pay off at the end. You create a star, a megastar, the face at the end of it. It doesn't work if Cody is beating anyone else. It doesn't work if The Rock comes back to beat Roman and then somehow Cody does it later. It doesn't work.
And that's why
it's not satisfying. And that's
I'm gonna play one last thing. And again, this is to Danny's analogy with Avengers Endgame Thanos. How many people hated, for some for very wrong reasons, but for story reasons, Captain Marvel coming in to be the hero at the end? There's a reason Captain Marvel isn't the person to snap her fingers and get rid of Thanos. It needed to be Iron Man because Iron Man was the hero of the story from the beginning. He's the story we've been following this entire time. Cody's story is what's been keeping us going when nothing else was working on Monday Night Raw, when things were not looking great, or when things were just kind of Cody's story was the thing that everyone was saying, wow, this is the hottest thing in WWE in a while. This got me to start watching WWE again. I love Rock. I do. I love Dwayne. And in any other circumstance, I would be happy to see The Rock wrestle at WrestleMania 40. Any other circumstance. Do Rock versus Solo. Do anything. Or better yet, if you're going to do Rock versus Roman, have Cody win last year. But we're not here. That's not the world we saw. Yeah. Infinity War happened and the good guys lost. That's why Endgame needed to exist for Iron Man to beat Thanos. I got all worked up. I'm in a tizzy.
No, it's good.
You're on a roll. You're on a
drink
roll.
Drink some water. But like, and that's why I keep pushing the Avengers analogy. And that's why all the solutions people are coming up with fucking triple threats and God, the people saying Priest to cash in or Orton should have won. That's why that all falls short. That's why there's no real solution with the cards that they've dealt themselves in this situation.
Absolutely.
That's why they've backed themselves into such a corner, because Cody can't face Seth. It doesn't add up. You can't.
Won't be
God forbid a
piece. That's for sure.
And if Cody was to beat if Cody was to beat Roman in Elimination Chamber, let's say, because that's another popular one going around, it immediately bumps the title down so much farther because it's not going to main event over Rock Roman.
Yep.
So it's already, the one thing you don't want from this is for Roman to lose the title and for the title to immediately sink down, even if it's just a little bit. You want it to stay even and with upwards trajectory. If Cody had beats him before Mania, he just has a match against who at WrestleMania? Maybe Randy because there's history there, but then that's lower than Rock versus Roman. That's like I would argue that if Punk wasn't hurt, that would have been lower than Seth versus Punk. Like that's not a good follow up. You can't do this. You can't have Roman hold the title for another year instead of losing it last year, and then have him lose it at a different pay-per-view other than Mania at this point. And like, I don't know, maybe we have to sit through another fucking year of it, which, you know, sorry to Matt or Dragoon or Chad, whoever's reviewing SmackDown, because, you know, that fucking sucks. But
he won't be there. So
true.
Like, the amount of times I see him will be few and far between. And that's been my main problem with this past year is if he had to beat Cody last year, that's fine. But you have to be there to defend the title. And the fact that like his part-time schedule became even more part-time was absurd and unacceptable. Like just, you don't do that.
Nobody gained anything. We've talked about it here on the pod. We don't have to spend too much time talking about it. But nobody gained anything from this last year of Roman continuing to be champion.
The Jay stuff was kind of interesting, but even their SummerSlam match was a dud.
Danny said it before. All right, their SummerSlam match was not a dud. It ended as a dud because of the finish. The match itself was good.
Wait, what SummerSlam match? I'm sorry, I was reading the
Roman versus Jay. The match itself was fine. It wasn't bad, but the finish was bad.
It was boring, bro.
Well, it was boring because we knew, and that was to the point I was going to get to in a second. You said it before here on the pod. How much better would that match have been if there were stakes that we actually thought Jay was going to beat him?
Kevin, we might just be giving away our WrestleMania tickets soon. Stay tuned.
This year, anything Roman did this year would have been better if he had lost the title to Cody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we've been saying that. That's not news. Like,
yeah.
And maybe a lot of people are just realizing it now, but I don't think it's news. And to Producer Boy's credit, or to the tweet he just put up, credit, they're right. It's going to affect more people than just Cody. Like, we're all talking about, like, oh, let's just give him and Seth the night one main event. Bro, I truly believe that the women were going to main event night one either way, whichever match it was. I thought they had a good shot, especially the second Punk got injured. It's like, okay, well, the women are main event in night one for sure, whichever one it is. And like, I know you said at one point very earlier on the show, but like, you know, Bayley turned face on this show and no one's talking about it. It was a huge deal and it's flying under the radar. One, dumb idea to do it on this show, right? Just wait a week. Why? Like, that's one where it's like, that's a shame for Bayley, but it's also, that goes beyond just the Rock's involvement. That's like, why would you do that on the show? It makes absolutely no sense. Like, there's so many people. This is spiraling. Because, yeah, I thought maybe we were just going to get Drew versus Seth or Drew versus Seth versus Sammy. But now if we're going to get Cody versus Seth, which I don't even know we are, because Cody pretty much said in his promo, I want that title, Roman. I want your title, but not at WrestleMania. So he doesn't really want Seth's title. So is he even going to choose Seth? Is Cody just going to...
NXT title, we talked about that.
Who the hell is the NXT champion?
Ilya Dragunov? But, you know, he set it up in a way where it sounds like he isn't going after Seth. So maybe we just... who knows what the fuck's going to actually happen with Cody now. And this is the only credence to the wait and see crowd is like, well, we have to wait and see what's going to happen on Monday. But
what if it's not satisfying? Then we waited for nothing.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
That's the worst.
Probably not going to be. Depends on where they are. Like whenever he shows up.
Well, so
no, not just WrestleMania.
But I think they're.
You think it's Philly? We're going. You're like, I think it's Philly. Like,
no. I mean, I think they're saying like Philly. Is Philly going to boo The Rock?
I think it's going to be mixed. I think it's going to be mixed.
Philly is
maybe not for the entrance, but the match itself will get booed.
All right. This comment, bro. Listen, F The Rock first of all, and the way the hashtag is trending, the boos are coming for sure.
Oh, yes. Can I say? I've seen, because I watched way more reviews about wrestling today because of this.
Where we're the only wrestling podcast.
Yeah, and I've watched this review 4 times already. But I've seen some fucking dorks be like, oh, the people saying that they hate The Rock or fuck The Rock, like that's so over dramatic and over the top. Bro, you know this guy started his career with Die Rocky Die chants, right? I
Yep.
feel like
This
it's
is nothing.
actually
Yeah.
it's not out of the woodworks. You know, it's a very he's very used to people wanting him to die, at least in terms of in a crowd. Yeah, I hope I was gonna say I hope you get hit by a bus, Rock, but like I don't want the bus driver to die. So I think I hope a bird shits on your bald head, bro. Like I think that's a reasonable, a more tame PG reaction towards The Rock, I guess.
That's good. To go off of this, Cody realizing why AEW was started in the first place. LOL. Dumbass.
That's a good one.
Do we like Tony Khan has to be kicking his fucking feet right now, right?
Yeah, but he's gonna ruin it. he's gonna ruin it so quickly.
The crazy thing is, this Dynamite coming up is actually a very stacked card. They got like all of their big stars on it. They really could do something good here. They're not going to, though. That's the problem.
Oof.
Roman Cody likely at Saudi. Roman would have beat Hogan's record then. This isn't locked in, but likely then.
I have a thought.
Okay, who is this channel? I've never heard of.
Oh, wait, Zero is one of the most disregarded people, isn't he? Or am I thinking of someone else?
I've never heard of that before.
I don't know. I've heard this Saudi idea floating around.
But that's just speculation.
He's the American Nightmare. Why are you having the American Nightmare when his story finished? No offense to anybody in any other country. We love you. But he's the American Nightmare. He's got to do it on home turf. Like,
no, I'll tell you this just to counter that real quick. If Cody was still in AEW, he would have been clawing and hawing to get to the main event at Wembley.
Well, no,
yeah, sure, but like
I don't want to say anything that's disparaging. It's just like.
But if either you look at those two matches, Rock versus Roman or Cody versus Roman, one of those looks like a Saudi Arabia match, and one of them looks like it's not a Saudi Arabia match. And the guy with the American neck tattoo doesn't look like he's going to be in the Saudi Arabia match. It's literally Saudi shows are for that exact type of match, a Rock versus Roman.
It's true.
But this just, to me, this paints The Rock in such like a negative light, like more as a person, yeah, that's true. That's why I said earlier, it is working for now. Whenever the next chapter of that story with Vince unfolds, it'll be right back in the public eye. And what are you gonna do then? You've already blown your fucking load. I guess we're gonna get Stone Cold to fight Logan Paul for the US title. I think that's where this ends up. And the thing is, I'm still looking forward to. It's hard to say right now because right now I genuinely, in this moment, I regret buying a WrestleMania ticket. Now, as the weeks grow closer, that'll soften and I'll be excited again. But I'm not watching Rock vs. Roman. I don't think I can convince Eric for us to leave early, but I'm going to walk around the stadium and like do other shit. And then like, maybe I'll even just go to the car and wait. I don't fucking know. But like, I am genuinely not watching that match. Even though I paid to be there before I knew that I was going to be there, I'm not watching that shit.
You bought your ticket like a week too early.
I know. Oh my god!
Because Rock came back to Raw, I think the week later.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Regrets were had. I had a pretty solid idea of what this card was going to be in my head when we bought these tickets. Now, one man has ruined it all. You know what? Thought of some comments I will keep to myself because I know James is going to overreact to them.
No, go for it. All your muff.
No, I still think it's fucked up. I was going to bring real life stuff into it, and definitely cross a little bit of a line. But I think you can imagine where I was going to go with it.
Jeff Hardy couldn't have done anything for that. See, he had nothing to do with anything here.
Yeah, it's crazy how like I've always been a Rock over Austin guy, but now I'm just Austin it's actually
I mean,
Austin.
Let's acknowledge the fact that Austin. Nope, never mind. Real life
That
stuff.
Austin's a bad person. Yeah, for real life stuff he did. Yeah. You know what? Kane's a terrible person. He's still my childhood favorite. You know, I regret nothing. Guy's a terrible human being, but that's those two different guys. That's two different. Glenn Jacobs, piece of shit. Kane, fantastic wrestler, Hall of Famer. You know, two different monsters. One in a good way, one in a bad way. Anyway, how are you guys?
I feel like we probably have evidence against Eric now.
I mean,
Oh yeah, not
Eric.
He forgot to add an emoji or an LOL or a JK to that sentence. That's
no, he didn't forget. This is an outlet for him to just say things he doesn't normally say. So that was more of a confession than anything. But you guys looking forward to WrestleMania or like?
I mean, I am still looking forward to Mania because I think the rest of the show, no matter what, there's great stuff there. You have Gunther, who's going to be wrestling against one of several potential good challengers. You have whatever the world title match is going to be. Drew is hot right now. I'm excited for Rhea Becky, most likely. I'm excited for Bayley Io. It's going to be so nice to finally cheer Bayley again,
Yeah,
it's going to be great. She deserves it.
Does she have will she bring back the hugging persona?
I doubt it.
I think she should bring back the music and the Bayley buddies for the entrance. Imagine in the stadium just filled up with giant Bayley buddies. That's you got to do that.
I think those parts of it, yes. But I don't think she could just go back to being that character.
No, she's not going to have the side ponytail.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. But
she's not going to go back to being sad Eeyore. That's how I always thought of her character.
Oh, when?
Whenever she was down in the dumps, she reminded me of Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh.
I don't even.
I feel like there's no other Eeyore. I feel like
but I meant Bayley. I never got that. I don't get the connection there. But everyone processes things in their own way. I'm not here to tell. I didn't do that. My hands were up in the air. He's talking, but he does. What were you saying?
Well, watch when she's in a sad promo in those days, those Alexa Bliss days, and it's it's.
Right, we don't need that.
But it's a tough sell. I get it. But other stuff to enjoy about Mania, we're probably getting Becky versus Rhea Ripley. That should be awesome.
Yeah,
Sid saying they're not a fan that Cody won't be facing Roman at Mania since he did not choose an opponent, but there might be a twist considering it's the first week of the road to WrestleMania. Absolutely. That is the one thing that we are all in agreement with. What we are being presented with right now doesn't necessarily mean that's what we're going to get when we get to Mania. We're all very worried because what is being presented isn't necessarily what we want. But the one thing is we're going to be tuning in on Monday. We're going to be tuning in next Friday, and we'll see. Feeling like Sammy should have just won it in Montreal on Twitter. I mean, I'll go further. Drew should have just won it at Clash of the Castle.
He shouldn't have won both titles. That shouldn't have been a thing.
Daniel Bryan should have fought him solo at the WrestleMania instead of in a triple threat with Edge, and he should have won.
I will never forgive Edge for winning that Rumble.
That was the worst fucking shit. I'm so glad he's redeeming himself in AEW because I was fucking sick of him. This man fought a career-ending neck injury after 9 years, and I was sick of him after a year. What the fuck, bro? Makes no sense.
I mean, it's really up to the crowds because the internet has spoken. It's the most disliked video WWE has. The memes have gone.
The problem with that is though it becomes a meme in itself that people see that it's becoming so disliked, so they're going to join in and continue to dislike it. But
wow, that's some WWE Stockholm syndrome right there. That's
that's just how the internet works. No. This was always going to be the most disliked video. But what I'm saying is, it's only continuing to get the hate because of that now. It already had the number one spot, but it's breaking its own record every few hours because people want to be part of that.
But also, isn't it "We Want Cody" is the number one hashtag on X right now?
That's true, but that
specifically
hashtag
the
was
YouTube
at
thing.
like a number. It was like 9,000. It's probably past 10,000 by now, but like that's a small amount of people in the grand scheme of things. It's but like Eric said, which is a running narrative on our pod that we always report, that a lot of the crowds that would boo these types of things in WWE is we've jumped ship to AEW, and so like that's why you don't get those crowds at WWE shows anymore. They're just not like that. The crowds there, for the most part, enjoy what they see and enjoy the WWE shows. Like we all have a different show we go to now. You know, we'll go chant worlds. We'll go chant NDA at Chris Jericho. You know, which our very own Kevin started. But you know, we're not at these WWE shows anymore. Genuinely, I don't even. The last WWE show that I personally went to might have been The Rock, WrestleMania 35.
Wow.
Granted, pandemic took away a lot of that, but still, it's most of those fans have jumped ship, so it's going to be harder for this to happen. But I do think it's possible because it's not like it's just the internet that roots for Cody. In fact, the internet are the only ones who doubt him, who think the crowds are going to turn on him. These crowds aren't turning on him.
Consistently.
He is the most over
loudly.
guy. He is consistently number one in merch, except for like when CM Punk returns and when R-Truth comes back and has a funny joke for a couple weeks, which by the way, they've kind of run it into the ground. But
they ended it. That just might turn into a tag team match at Mania, though. We don't.
That's the most depressing outcome of it, is that it's going to be an awesome Truth tag team match. They're going to beat the Judgment Day for the tag titles at WrestleMania. Another match I'm going to have to fucking find something to do during. But
I love that you like Truth enough, but you hate Miz enough that it just doesn't balance out in Truth's corner. It just
no, because I think R-Truth is perfect in small doses, and usually he overstays his welcome. It's just he had a home run this time.
Yeah,
like until this week when he started talking about Bitcoin and shit and crypto in the promo before they beat him down. But that's why I'm excited for this this crowd. Yeah, bro, Kevin, I'm not gonna bring my own. I'll probably just take one from the hotel or Airbnb that we stay at, and commute back and forth with it. I'm not gonna bring one from my house. That's the idea. But if we can get Philly, I think it's, like I said, I think it's gonna be very mixed. I think The Rock will get cheered throughout his whole entrance, but then once the match actually starts, I think you get Cody chants. I think you get boos. I think you get a lot of indifference. Look, Roman Reigns has main evented way too many WrestleManias, and like what, 3 of them have been good. Maybe.
Let's see. He wrestled. He main evented 31. He main evented 32. He main evented 33.
34.
Which one did he skip?
Wasn't 34 New York where he didn't?
No, 35 was the woman main eventing.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was when he came back from being sick.
Yeah.
So he didn't main event that one.
What was 34?
34 was
Brock, right?
the Brock, the second one where he lost.
So it was Brock, Triple H, Taker,
Brock.
4 main events there.
All in a row.
And then
I'd say out of those, all bad except for the first Brock match.
The first,
the Triple H match, boring as fuck. Undertaker match, sadly bad. Not like
that was depressingly
offensively bad. The second Brock match, fucking dog shit. Then the Drew match was fine, but it wasn't the main event, so
it was banking on Roman's back from cancer. That's
my favorite sign in the crowd of the modern era was the Raw after that WrestleMania, because it was, is it too soon to boo Roman yet?
Yeah, I remember.
That's how I felt, because I wanted to still boo the guy. 36 was what?
I'm looking it up right
was
now.
That was no 36. He wasn't there, but that's when he left because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But he was gonna fight Goldberg, so that was gonna be bad, and we got that match eventually, and it was bad.
Then 37.
37 was a triple threat.
Triple threat with
Which
Bryan
was good.
and Edge.
And Edge, which was good.
Yeah. I still hate the double pin, but that's just because I love Bryan and Edge, and I hated that.
I hated it because it was Roman, but like it's a cool thing to do. Like that was a cool thing to do.
But someone pointed out that
38 was Brock.
Technically pins or Daniel Bryan, so it doesn't actually make any sense.
I know. All right, here's the thing. Precedent has shown when a guy double pins somebody like in a dominant fashion, the person on top of it all gets the win. We saw that, like, Ryback did that every fucking week with all the jobbers. Like, it's just how it goes. 38.
They weren't triple threats. That's the thing.
Regardless, the man on top is the guy who gets the pin. 38 was Roman versus Brock again, and that
Not
was
good.
Well, I don't remember it one way or the other. I just remember it being.
That's not good then.
Yeah. 39 was Cody.
And that was a good match.
Good match, terrible finish. Terrible finish.
Agreed.
That's when I started to truly dislike Solo.
Well, it's just annoying because like Solo got ejected, comes back, and there's like no punishment whatsoever. It's like, then why doesn't everybody come back when they get ejected by the
Why even leave at that point?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the thing, and we could assume right now. So you after listing them all out, you really think Rock vs. Roman's going to be good? Like, what are the odds? The odds are literally like 10%.
So I am of the belief, like, so one of my favorite matches of all time is WrestleMania 18, Rock versus Hogan. Is it a good match? No, but the energy was there for it, and I just love the spectacle of it. The problem is, and I recognize this doesn't have, it can't have that same energy. Nobody was mad that Hulk Hogan came back and wrestled The Rock. People wanted that match to happen. So I do think that the energy of a match, and I think the crowd and the story of a match can overtake whether or not a match is quote unquote good or not. But I just don't think it's possible to get there here. But I am also a little more positive than you guys are that I do think they could put on, at the very least, a decent match to a good match.
Well, it's because you're a simp. But to this comment,
we prefer the term more.
But
to this comment real quick, I would love it if Damian Priest was the first person to pass. I want someone to do it. I want someone to not be able to cash it in the whole year. And I wanted it to be Theory last year. I think it was the perfect guy for it because he sucks. But if it's going to be Priest, that's fine, because the chances of him being world champion dwindled after the first 2 months of him having it. And there's no way now he can be world champ with all the shit going on. So let him be that guy.
I would. It's a shame that the next Money in the Bank pay-per-view, I think it takes place like 2 days after his year contract is up, because I feel like that would have been best case scenario. Like, you know, you have a year to cash it in. What if he cashes in like at exactly 1 year at the next, you know, Money in the Bank pay-per-view?
The thing is, though, there's literally no reasons somebody's contract runs up, because if they can't find the opportunity to do the sneaky cash in, they could call it out ahead of time, like RVD did and Cena did. It's literally, it should be impossible to let that contract go up after a year.
Yeah, it should, but you know, Roman's not there, so you know.
That's another thing. They could make comedy out of it. Like I said, they could just be like, he's super hesitant, and like he could act like, I don't have a problem. I don't know what you're talking about. I can cash in anytime I want.
And he keeps showing up to SmackDown on weeks of Roman's not there.
Be like, Roman's not here. Oh, I wanted to cash in so badly. Like there's comedy here, and they've shown that they can do comedy with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, it's just so weird how all hope is lost. One
more thought on Money in the Bank, because I've definitely said it to James, but I've definitely not said it on the podcast. I feel like my theory is last year at Money in the Bank, because Vince was kind of back, but kind of not. And I feel like Vince totally wanted Logan Paul to win. And Triple H is like, absolutely not. I want LA Knight to win. They couldn't agree. So their compromise was Damian Priest.
So let me say it.
Yeah, no. Go ahead.
Logan Paul should have won Money in the Bank. And he should have cashed in on Seth. And it would have been fantastic. It would have been so much better than having Damian Priest. I don't like Logan Paul. I do hope he gets hit by a bus, but like he's so good at this. He's so good. Like he gets it. So if you give him Money in the Bank, it makes perfect sense because he won't be there all the time, and that's good. So that way you miss Money in the Bank a little bit. You stop. So then whenever he does show up, you're like, oh my God, is this it? All of a sudden, Money in the Bank becomes a lot more exciting where it hasn't been exciting in so many years. And then just like that, you do it. And then you want to make the secondary title feel a little more important. I know giving it to celebrity is a big risk. But I mean, Logan Paul's more famous than the entire WWE. As much as he should get hit by a bus, like if he can bring that title up with him,
he's really good at this, so
he'd be such a good heel. And then imagine the pop, whatever babyface would get from beating him for that title. And all of a sudden, you have made this title, you've made another star, and you've revitalized Money in the Bank. And it's just, it would have worked. It will not have been, if it was Vince's idea, he would have not done it that way and he would have ruined it. But like, you know, if
I feel like either choice was better than Priest, but like I said, I feel like Priest was the compromise. That's
if we're doing the lines.
Can I just real quick?
Yeah, sure.
There's two things. One, there's no world where Vince McMahon compromises, period. What he says is always what he gets. And two,
you're going all robot.
Am I? Fuck. Is it bad? Am I better?
Yeah, it's a little, you know, like that. Sounds a little.
Gotcha.
But
no world where Vince McMahon compromises. And two, this was after Backlash, I believe, where they really wanted to reward him for that main event against Bad Bunny.
I did not realize we were doing a podcast with AI, bro. This is crazy. But anyway, I was going to say, you know, the way we're talking about these strings that are, you know, getting us from like Jungle Boy saying Real Glass to here, you know, we have one where if Bad Bunny sucked at wrestling, Damian Priest wouldn't be Mr. Money in the Bank. But, you know, all of a sudden celebrities are good at wrestling and fucking actually it's affecting things in a mostly positive way. But it's, I don't know. I feel like this was a good therapy session. Yeah, I feel like a little bit.
It has been having some good comments. They said something about Damian Priest. What if he says, I'm taking on Seth at Mania? Then what? Damian Priest isn't cashing in before Mania. Like the fact that he hasn't even acknowledged the fact that Seth is hurt and vulnerable, and like this would be the perfect time to cash in.
He looks like an idiot.
Yeah,
but
they're not going to touch that. They're not going to touch that.
I do like the hypothetical question, though, the hypothetical scenario that Sid brought up here. I personally think Royal Rumble supersedes Money in the Bank, but I think in a situation like that, they would just make a triple threat.
Yeah.
Because they're both guaranteed title matches. One is at a specific event, one is whenever. But I think if they both declared ahead of time, they would just do the triple threat.
And that would be cool if it was like two top guys. If like, you know, like let's say Cody won the Rumble and
Drew.
Yeah, if Drew, all right, let's say LA Knight because he's the popular guy that dumb fans think should be a world champ. Let's say it was that you have Cody win the Rumble. He's like, I'm challenging Roman Reigns. There's only one world title in this scenario. LA Knight comes out and says, well, I'm in the main event WrestleMania, actually. That would be a different way to get to a triple threat. It'll be a first time ever thing with Money in the Bank. And that would actually be kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Granted, add an LA Knight to the match, probably bring it down quality-wise a little bit. But, like, you know, this is a hypothetical. And I'm just taking strays at LA Knight because,
you really are.
You know, why not? You know, because I want everyone to be mad, you know. Hurt people, you know. So if anyone's a fan of LA Knight, why? It's just the promos, right? There's nothing else.
Yeah.
It's just the promos. Because I like them too. I like the promos. They're fun. But
his Impact work was great. It really was.
Yeah, but we don't care about Impact. We care about TNA. All right.
Iron Lion. I'm sorry to tell you this. Iron Lion writes, I guess we better start buying WWE pay-per-view DVDs because a lot of shit I probably going to get removed from history. They stopped selling DVDs.
Gotta buy aftermarket, yeah.
Yeah, they are gone now. They do not print.
Yeah, they completely control history.
Wait, what happened?
They've been gone for a while.
No, it just happened recently.
No, yeah, they
It got announced a while ago.
Yeah. But what were you saying, Danny?
I was gonna say they control history now. Like that's
Yeah, no, absolutely.
that's it. Like now we'll never. Like I don't know. Like now we need fans in attendance to like actually record crowd reactions because you just know there's gonna be so much piped in noise for the next 3 months.
Yeah. I actually really want to address this tweet that Producer Boy brought up. The tweet saying, "We wanted Rock at Mania 37. He didn't come. We wanted it at Mania 38. He didn't come. It would have been fine at Mania 39. He didn't come. Now when we don't want him, he comes in to save WrestleMania. Poor decisions by all involved. There is a reason, and that reason is the number. 40 is what brought him back. He wanted to be at WrestleMania 40. I'm not saying that's good. I'm not saying that's right, but that's the reasoning. That's the explanation. Rock did not want to come back for a random Mania. And granted, I think at least one was during like the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
So
no, I think it was they had crowds back for that one, even though
they had it
in
back.
the Thunderdome.
They did, but it wasn't like it wasn't a big thing yet, you know.
But John Smith, great name by the way. The Rock should win the WWE title just to piss off more fans and be corporate Rock for a little while after WrestleMania with his old Hollywood Rock theme, and then Cody beats The Rock for the title. That would be okay if Rock was gonna stick around. That's the only if Rock was gonna put in the fucking work and not just come in for WrestleMania and then right off into the sunset. That's one of the only ways I could see this being salvaged. So I would actually I wouldn't love it, but that would be an easier pill to swallow.
Yeah, it's acceptable.
Than to deal with this. So
what we wanted,
but he's not sticking around.
That was my point before. I kind of got lost in the sauce with the A24 stuff and Moana. My point was maybe there's a chance Rock is around a little bit because now TKO and being on the board of directors, WWE is going to be more of a priority for him. I still don't think it's a priority enough that he's going to show up on weekly TV.
Yeah.
And I don't need to go.
It is crazy, but we're in a crazy situation right now.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, God. Danny, you said it right. This was therapy, but I don't feel great afterwards. I let it out. It doesn't feel like a giant boulder on me, but I don't feel great.
Yeah. I don't know. At least I guess we feel things. I feel something. I don't know what though. I don't even know how to describe it.
I love the tweet.
I feel like I don't want to see Cody versus Seth for a fourth time. I've had enough.
I don't.
Now.
The only way I would want to see Cody versus Seth is maybe another year down the road, and that's Seth finally beats Cody.
Absolutely.
But so many things need to happen for me to want to be there, like emotionally as a viewer. So
yeah.
Is
now a good a time as any to thank the sponsor for this episode? Because I guess we might as well do now an hour and a half into the episode.
Go for it,
guys. This episode is brought to you by any web browser extension that lets you see YouTube dislikes. There's multiple of them. I won't name specific ones because they're all paying us for this. Every single one of them is definitely for sure paying us for this. And that's what brought to this episode. If you want to know just how truly disliked this Rock Roman Cody segment was, get one of these extensions. The numbers do not lie. They are astronomical and they are big. You want to say that that's a small portion of the audience? WWE has a small audience nowadays. All right, they're getting like 2 million views. The amount of dislikes on this video makes up a good percentage of that viewership. So it's just quite a fun thing to look at and to watch happen. If there's any enjoyment to have out of this besides memes, it's that. It's
producer boy. Can you pull up what the most recent reported number is on the dislikes?
He can't. He doesn't understand. He's about to look up. He's looking up stuff about Michael Rappaport right now.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you at WrestleMania.
Let's see. 402. Yowie. Wowie. That's That's almost 500,000 people.
That's like more engagement than they just get on videos in general.
Right.
Like,
But
I
that's
don't
what
think
they say. They'll say they have the viewership and the numbers. Even if the numbers are bad, it's the engagement, and that's all that matters. And it's like, oh god.
for Iron Lion, I'm there with it, bro. I'm still not over that. Like all this love for Triple H, fuck that guy too, bro.
You know what's
Guy couldn't
crazy?
even put over Sting. Fuck
I've
him.
talked about this before. I really feel like they pumped something in the air at that crowd because I was there and I was so friggin' hype. I was like, oh my God, this is all happening. This is amazing. And then as soon as I got home, I'm like, why was I into that? That was
Yeah.
Which part?
Sting Triple
versus
H.
Triple H at Mania.
Oh, yeah.
Like they were really feeding me the member berries. And I even then it didn't make sense, but I digress.
What was more egregious, Triple H beating Sting or Triple H beating Booker T?
All right, two very different reasons.
Yeah,
one was
it's
real life
hard to say.
egregious. One was
One's
real life
depressing.
egregious.
I
One
feel like
was
we're
wrestling
both
egregious.
terrible for different reasons.
Yes, one was terrible because of racism. One was terrible because I was a fan of the other guy. It's just not.
Can we say, thank God MJF didn't show up at the Royal Rumble.
Thank God. Thank God MJF didn't. Thank God Okada didn't. Thank God Mercedes didn't. Wow.
Yeah, this is. Yeah,
We've had
maybe
AJ
this is.
in.
Yeah,
What?
yeah, AJ.
AJ Lee.
I like AJ. I would have been happy. If
She's
she
not
showed up.
showing up.
She's
anyway.
never showing up. She retired for medical reasons. She did not retire because her husband stopped wrestling. This notion that WrestleMania needed saving is nonsensical. 57,000 tickets already sold for each night. The product is hotter than it's been in years. You have sellouts everywhere, and that's mostly without an active world champion on one show. Exactly what we were saying before, just in tweet form. This was not the Mania that needed Rock. It just wasn't. And it's funny because Chad did ask me a question in our private chat.
First of all, private chat? Are you kidding me? This is why you guys are bottom of the rankings.
You're in it. You're in it. What am I going to be wearing when Roman gets dethroned? And I said, I'm going to be wearing my Rock shirt. I absolutely will. I know I'm going to cheer for The Rock when he shows up. I'm not proud of it. I'm disappointed in myself. But Rock is the reason I got into wrestling. He just
you simply get it.
I was a kid. It was 99.
No, I'm saying for being this way now as an adult. It's real quick. Kevin, no, WWE should want Potato to be engagement from the fans with the whole Vince thing going on. What? What's Potato supposed to be in that?
Potatoing is like hitting someone hard.
Okay.
But
thank you. He did clarify. Okay. Because I've been looking at that for a bit. I really wanted to talk to this.
He was really hoping nobody would mention it. And he was going to do it. Yeah.
Potato positive is the same thing. I get you, buddy.
They've never been concerned. Like, we would have never gotten Daniel Bryan in the main event of WrestleMania 30 had Punk not quit. Despite how great the Yes movement was and how vocal the crowd was, give all the credit to the crowd. They would not have changed that main event if Punk had stayed. We would have gotten Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus in a mid-card match for nothing.
Oh, no. Hold on. Stop picking a different comment.
Sorry, I was actually okay. Where are we going?
No, this is for you. I picked this up for you.
No one knows where this is going. Let it play out. It makes Cody's story 1,000% better with a twist. Have you read a story, bro?
The twist sucks.
The twist for the sake of a twist isn't good. And this isn't a twist.
This is the M. Night Shyamalan of wrestling twists.
This isn't a twist. This is stopping a book and then picking up a different book, bro. Like, this is not a twist. Let it play out, bro. It's been years. It's been absolute years. We are getting old. I had one gray hair in my beard when this started. I have 3 now. Okay, like
I was in my 20s when this reign started. Okay,
that's crazy. He hasn't been champion for 8 years. I don't know what you're talking about, but
this is not get the cabin bad M. Night Shyamalan. By the way, I like the early Shyamalan stuff.
I like Signs, but
yeah.
Signs
pretty
is a
downhill.
fantastic movie. Kevin, do you
But
want to
it's-
watch Signs? I want to watch Signs. But it's
Yeah,
not
this
it's not a.
bad Shyamalan.
I think those are bad faith takes to just. It's not going to make the story better. Making the story worse doesn't make the story better. You know, like that.
Even
I
if you
think it's pretty.
salvage it, even if you
self-
salvage it, it's like you've already damaged it.
I'm going to go back to the comment that you were picking on, Danny, from Hunter. Have you heard that The Rock is trying to take control of WWE and creative from Triple H? I did read the report. I did read the report that Brian Gurewitz, or I think that's how you say it. Brian Gurewitz is The Rock's guy. He was one of the head writers of WWE back in the day. Was The Rock's like writer for years and years, and he's very involved in The Rock's projects today. That he's waiting in the wings if they need a plan B, but we'll see. Let's go back to the other Iron Lion. The only
I love Signs. Important comment. I agree.
Signs is amazing. Signs
Great
is
movie.
amazing.
Great movie.
Iron Lion. The only twist Cody is getting is okay. Sorry, Iron Lion. Dominic, the writer. The only twist that happened. Oh my god. I gotta start reading them.
They're one sentence long. It's not like it's multiple lines.
I see a comment and I'm like, okay, let's do something, especially if it's somebody different.
Yeah.
Also, they're not that bad that you have to censor yourself both times.
I just don't want to talk about their balls getting twisted.
I wouldn't be surprised.
They're getting twisted. They're getting busted.
I mean, we saw his
Balls.
We saw his daughter on SmackDown for no reason. You know.
You are way too offended at that. Of all of the things that we've had to deal with, Ava Raine showing up on TV does not even make the top 10 of
I
the
just
last
get annoyed
week.
by nepotism, man. Nepotism annoys me. She also messed up her first and only line. It's like, how hard is it?
I need you to acknowledge the fact. That
Acknowledge
we're upset. My bad. We're upset the fact that instead of getting one Nepo baby versus another Nepo baby, we're getting one Nepo baby versus a different Nepo baby. This is all nepotism. Cody, Nepo baby.
They earned it to some degree. She hasn't earned it yet. We'll see.
She's done nothing. She is essentially the role of Eve Torres at one point, or Stacy Keibler. They are the woman next to the man that's talking. You can't be offended by nothing.
I have a comment. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Shame on you.
I mean, then I agree to an extent. I don't care about whoever Ava Raines is, but I don't know what you guys are talking about there. But like, you know, let's not forget we're gonna get a fucking Uso singles match. I don't want to see that shit either. Why did I buy tickets for this? There's so little I wanted to see.
No. See, the negative is outweighing the positive right now, but there is a lot of positive. We were talking about it. Gunther is going to be killing it. Once upon a time, Seth was going to have a great match no matter what. The Punk was very alluring to this. There were a lot of reasons. It's just right now the bad feels so overwhelming.
And hopefully we'll get some good in the coming weeks. We have a road to WrestleMania. You know, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
So
Elimination Chamber is going to be such an important pay-per-view for something I'm not going to watch live. For something that I will be sleeping during, Elimination Chamber is going to be a very big marker.
It'll be great for Rhea. You know, it'll be great for her.
John, we're not positive though. Like that's the thing. We're like most podcasts, we're negative. All podcasts are negative.
I like to think we're pretty even keel. We don't go for like we were talking about those knee-jerk reactions before. I don't think we speak out of a knee-jerk reaction on here. So we try to like balance it out, but it's hard to be positive right now, John.
We all feel for Cody, and we all feel for our eyes having to watch Roman versus Rock, which will probably not be a good match.
Fuck you.
It won't be a good match. Come on. It's not going to be a good match. And Kevin's right. We could be the potato version of Barstool.
How long has it been since Rock had a match? He's how many years older? Like,
how long was it from Sting's last match against Seth Rollins versus his first match against Brian Cage?
Less time than The Rock.
But he was older.
Yeah, but he was always a better wrestler.
Yay! Brian Keith is all elite. Rev somewhere is going to be really happy.
I don't know why I always think of this guy as Vance.
Somewhere. Rev's at the bar.
All right, you both need to figure out the timing of making your comments because
Yeah.
you have been talking over each other
We're
all
fighting.
night.
Yeah, sorry.
It's called
But-
overlap and dialogue. Okay, it's good for podcasts. There's less dead air that way.
It doesn't work well though in an audio situation where we have viewers and listeners who only listen to us.
Blasphemy, insane. Who only listens to podcasts, bro? It's a visual medium. Okay, it's not an audio first medium. What I don't know what anyone's talking about. But we'll get there. We'll get there. The thing is, and this is more, I don't want to like excuse me and Matt. You know, we gotta work. We'll get our chemistry a little down more, but this is to some degree your fault because you invite people to jump down your throat when you talk. So like, you know, whoever you're doing this with is gonna want to immediately like swat down whatever you say.
This feels like victim blaming.
Uh,
So I actually have a friend at this show at the live event in Knoxville right now. So Nick, other Nick, very different Nick. I hope you're enjoying it. But let's hear it.
Boo.
I mean, it's a pretty muted crowd regardless.
The only real boo I heard was the guy who's recording the video.
Same.
Yeah, no, there was
That's
one
really
boo
good.
after, and then like, but there also wasn't a loud reaction. So
Yeah, no, that wasn't it.
yeah, if you're gonna videotape something, guys, this is a little tip: try not to, you know, be the person talking and directly at your phone because then people are gonna hear that more than anything else. You know, just
I
thought for
think
those people.
I think I've mastered the ability of recording at a wrestling event. I think I've gotten pretty good at it.
I've gotten really good at concerts. I'll videotape parts of a song and I'll still be singing along, but you won't hear me.
Yeah, it's to me. It's to me. It's not for anyone else.
Yeah.
All right.
We were just a reaction channel for like 2 minutes right there.
Yeah, right. Every WrestleMania event got the Cody share. Oh, that's fucked up.
Oh man. Kevin, Eric, do you guys want to play Fall Guys?
All right. Before we wrap up, because we have been going on for almost 2 hours now, and I want to thank everybody who's been with us. We've had a lot of engagement and a lot of new voices in the chat, so thank you. Any last comments on the subject at hand? Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, The Rock, WrestleMania. Matt, do you have anything?
I don't like the way it's shaping up. We'll see. I'm only going to be happy if Cody beats Roman for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. So
that's fair. That's fair. Danny, anything you want to add?
I'll add one more thing then. Well, maybe we can get one of those Make-A-Wish kids to wish that Cody beats Roman.
And with that, I am the last man standing on this latest, somewhat of an emergency episode of the Mark It Down podcast. Again, thank you for joining us.